Hi crafters, welcome to another video with Amy Makes That. I'm so excited you're here for today's tutorial as always, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Amy and I create content all about the Cricut. Cricut projects, designs-based tips, business tips, you name it, I literally cover everything. If you're interested in this kind of content, I would so greatly appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. Today's video is a highly requested video, and it's kind of been a tutorial that's long awaited, so thank you for being patient. I'm comparing the Easy Press 2 along with my commercial heat press. A lot of crafters want to know what is the difference between the two, and should I get the Easy Press? Should I invest in a commercial heat press? So I hope you all will enjoy this tutorial. Now we can get into the video. Say hi to VoiceOver Amy. These are the two designs I'll be heat pressing onto canvas bags. Now, every product I mention will be linked in the video description, like this SVG for the Coffee and Kindness design, as well as the moon phase design right here. Since today's video is focusing on the heat presses itself, I will not be demonstrating how to upload the designs. I also wanted to make this video as short as possible for y'all. You can also refer to my other heat pressing videos in case you need more help with uploading and more. Once your designs are uploaded and sized appropriately, we can click Make It, and we are working with HTV vinyl, so the designs must be mirrored. And this is a trick that you will be featured in another video of mine to show how to cut multiple colors and designs on one mat. So make sure you're subscribed to get notified when that video is out. I added the vinyl to the mat shiny side face down and let the Cricut cut the vinyl. I will do the same process for the moon phase design, except I'm using glitter HTV vinyl, so the base material must be set to glitter iron on. I'm obsessed with neutrals, as you know, and loved the brown glitter vinyl. So let the Cricut cut the vinyl, and once it's done, I removed the mat from the Cricut and flipped the mat over to remove the vinyl from it. Again, I'm not showing the entire process of weeding the vinyl because I show this in many videos of mine, and I want to get right into the comparison, but I'm removing the excess vinyl from all of the designs so it's prepped for the heat pressing. First, we'll start with my commercial heat press from 143vinyl.com. It comes in a bright mint green color and is by the brand StarCraft. It has a clamp at the top for you to heat press your projects, and it's less manual work for you, which I love. You can adjust the pressure using this knob by either turning it right or left, and it is a 15 by 15 inch heat press, so it's pretty big. I bought these two IKEA Alex drawer sets for it to fit, and the setup has worked great for me. To turn it on, you will obviously plug it in first and press the big red button on the side. To adjust the time and temperature, you will click the touch screen. You'll see the top number is the actual temperature of the heat press heating up, and the bottom is what it's set to. I'll click the set button to change the temperature and adjust it with the up and down arrow buttons. To change the time amount, you'll do the same exact thing, click the set button and the up and arrow buttons again. The temperature is set to 320, by the way, because I am using glitter H2 vinyl, and that's what the settings are. These are the canvas bags I got from Amazon. They are the perfect size, but not too big, not too small, and I will warn you that heat pressing canvas bags can be a little difficult, and I'll show you why later on. So the bottom of the heat press has a mat over the metal, and the top part is the heat press, which gets extremely hot, so please be careful when placing your blanks and vinyl underneath it. I placed the canvas bag with the vinyl on the heat press and measured it with my ruler to make sure the design was even. Then I'll take my Teflon sheet, pull down the clamp to heat press at 320 degrees for 15 seconds. And I don't have to press down on it. The heat press literally does all the work for you. Once it's done, it will continuously beep until you remove it, as you can hear. And this was the cleanest press ever, oh my gosh. The carrier sheet came right off and I didn't have to heat press it again. And this is how it came out. At the end of the video, I will do a pros and cons list comparison with my opinion, but overall, this heat press has been a great asset to my business and I love it. Now, the other heat press I use all the time is my Cricut Easy Press 2. It comes in several colors like this red, mint green, and I believe some other limited edition colors. It is a handheld heat press, and the layout of the press makes it very beginner friendly to use. Here are the temperature and time buttons and a plus and minus sign to increase or decrease those features. So you'll pick up the heat press with your hands and then place it back down on the bottom to cool off or pause to reuse again. The other necessary accessory you need is the Easy Press mat. You will place all of your products on here so you don't crack, burn, or damage the surface you're heat pressing on. I'll press the on button to turn on the heat press, and it displays what its current settings are, so to change that we'll press the temperature button, and I can either hit the minus or plus button, and then I press the time button to adjust the time, but it was already set to 15 seconds, which was the correct time. And the CRICUT logo button will turn green and make a beep noise once it's ready. Next, I'm cutting the heat press designs because I have to put them close together and I don't want the carrier sheets overlapping. Once I'm done, I'll then place each color on the canvas bag carefully and measure them with the ruler. I'll place the Teflon sheet over the bag to heat press. You'll have to click the CRICUT logo button to start the time countdown. Once it's done, it will make a beeping noise. Now with the canvas bags, I like to sometimes use a lower heat setting and push all of my weight and might into the heat press, because if I don't, I have to heat press it a few more times after. So keep that in mind with canvas bags, but I usually have no other problems with any product that I use, like t-shirts or koozies, and I usually will heat press about 2 times with again those kind of materials, just to make sure that the vinyl is firmly adhered into the item. But overall, the CRICUT Easy Press is what I use now for all of my projects. I show them in all of my YouTube videos because of how easy and compact it is, and I highly recommend this for any beginner. Now let's compare both heat presses with a pros and cons list. Hi everyone, I am in the midst of editing, and I was going to make this an audio, like a voiceover, but I feel like it would be a little bit easier for me to be this tiny little screen on the bottom corner and then have the comparison of both up on the screen, because I feel like it makes it a little bit more personal. So let's get into it. I made this lovely little graphic for you and their features and the pros, the cons, all that fun stuff. So what is the type of the commercial clamshell heat press? It is a clamp heat press, which means you don't have to manually heat press your item. You simply pull down the clamp and the heat press does all of the work for you. I like that because I am a big multitasker, so I would press down the heat press and then work on something else in the meantime while it was heat pressing. My arms also don't feel like they are about to fall off, because sometimes I put a lot of pressure when I use the CRICUT Easy Press, so I really like that feature of the clamshell. I also mentioned earlier that there is a pressure knob, which has helped for me. I found the perfect pressure through trial and error because some heat pressing projects may need a little bit more pressure than others. The size of the clamshell heat presses are usually 15 by 15 inches like mine, but some other common sizes are 9 by 12 inches, 12 by 10 inches, or even 15 by 12 inches. Amazon does have a great collection of clamshell heat presses that I know other crafters use. I recommend Amazon because they are a bit cheaper than my StarCraft one. I have a post on Like to Know It that is linked with specific Amazon heat presses I liked based on the reviews. And I'll show you that Like to Know It post right here, and I will put that in the video description for you to check out. The weight of the clamshell is 55 pounds. It is quite heavy. I remember it came in a huge box and I needed help from my husband to carry it inside the house, so keep that in mind as well. The color of this heat press is mint, but most others come in colors like black. I've seen blue before. The price of the clamshells are usually a lot of money, which is why I mentioned the Amazon options before. I did have to save a lot of money before making the purchase, but again, I registered my business. It counted as a business expense. I used it as a tax write-off, and I also made that money back when selling. So it is an investment, but it is well worth it in my opinion. And some other features to note about the clamshell heat press is the automatic timer. So once you press down the clamp, the heat press will automatically start counting down and heat press, and then beep once it's completed. It like beeps a lot, like it won't stop beeping until you actually lift the clamp. And the maximum temperature of the heat press is 450 degrees, which is so hot. I don't think I've gone anything over 320, but that's the limit on the clamshell heat press. And the last other feature is the automatic shut-off timer. So after 60 minutes, you can select this option for the heat press to shut off automatically in case you forget, but always make sure to turn off and unplug your heat press after every project. I always triple check because these heat presses get hot and you do not want to start a fire. Now let's move on to the CRICUT Easy Press 2. The type of heat press is a manual heat press. So as you saw earlier, you had to lift the iron up with your hand and then manually press down onto your project. Although I love this feature because it acts like an iron, you don't really get the same pressure every time you heat press, which is kind of the downside of it being a manual heat press. This is why I'm usually heat pressing my projects 2, sometimes 3 times, because the pressure is just going to be different every time. And I think as a business, it's very important to have the same pressure, especially if you're selling products to people. But like if CRICUT made a clamshell heat press, I think that would be a huge game changer. So mark my words if they do, because I called it right now. So the size of it, mine is a 9x9, but they do have a smaller size, which is 6x7 inches. And then they have a bigger one, which is 12x10 inches. But I do recommend the 12x10 one only because I find that when I'm making bigger products, like bigger designs on t-shirts, I have to press it 2 times just for the first time, and that can cause like a very uneven heat press too. Meanwhile, my 15x15, it covers the whole thing, like if I had a really big design. The weight of it is so nice. It's 5.73 pounds for the 9x9 I looked up, and I believe the 12x10 is just under 10 pounds. It also comes in several colors like the raspberry red, mint, I saw lilac, and a light blue. I also thought I saw a gold before, which is like a Martha Stewart limited edition one. The price on the CRICUT Easy Presses are just under $200, so not as much as the clamshell heat presses, but CRICUT does make their products very affordable for their consumers, which I do like. And some other features to know about the CRICUT Easy Press is the CRICUT button. So you do have to press the button to start the timer. I've forgotten to press it many times, so make sure you press that button. And I like that it notifies you when the heat press is ready. So as you saw that the heat press, the logo will be orange or like a red color, and then once it's ready, it will turn green, so you know that it's ready. And my clamshell heat press does not notify you when it's right at the temperature, so I have to like keep checking on it to see if it's like ready or not. And the maximum temperature for the CRICUT Easy Press is 400 degrees, which again, I can't see anyone using a project near that temperature. It's quite hot. And there is a shut-off timer after 13 minutes. Make sure you are turning off and unplugging your heat presses once you're done. That is something I cannot stress enough. So in conclusion, both of these heat presses are great. I find that the CRICUT is very beginner friendly and gets you accustomed to heat pressing. The clamshell is a little intimidating at first because it's so big, and also if you don't have the room for it, the CRICUT Easy Press is definitely a little bit better for you. But ultimately, the choice is now yours. I can't make that choice for you, so I hope all of this information did help you a lot when choosing your heat press. But now let's get back into my outro where I look much better. Thank you everyone so much for watching today's tutorial. I hope you can now get some more clarity on both heat presses and which one is right for you. Let me know in the comment section if you have a commercial heat press, if you have the Easy Press, if you have both. Again, if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and click my subscribe button to see more CRICUT content like today's tutorial. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!